Welcome to today's World News Analysis, where we would be discussing about the Russian oil vessel capture, Greenland fiasco, and Donald Trump's $2.8 billion deal with Venezuela regarding the oil. Now, all these three headlines have been there on every front page, so we would just dig deep into each of these. The Russian and US tensions are at an all-time high. The US has seized a Russian-flagged vessel in North Atlantic Ocean, which is linked to Venezuelan oil. Now, the Venezuelan oil ship was earlier named something else, but now it is registered as Marbella 1. This ship was earlier called Marinera, and now after sailing for some time in the Caribbean Sea, it has been seized. The US Navy and Coast Guard says that this ship is one of the back-to-back Ghost Fleet ships which has been there in the Caribbean for some time now. The Russians have opposed this idea of seizing a ship just because it has been flagged as a Russian ship. The Russians have maintained that it is only temporarily a Russian ship, and the US action violates every rule of safe navigating into international waters. The White House press secretary has said that this ship has been flying a false flag for some time now, and all the actions that the United States has taken on this ship are legitimate. Moscow has said that this ship was temporarily flagged to Russia and that no state has the right to use force against vessels properly registered in other countries' jurisdictions. This ship is accused of breaking US sanctions and shipping Iranian oil. It's historically transported Venezuelan crude oil, but reports that it's empty at the moment. The US authorities have released two videos filmed by the military following the seizure of Marinera 1 and the earlier Sofia oil tankers. Both US Homeland Secretary and US Southern Command posted the clips on X, which show helicopters approaching the large tankers from different angles and people landing on the deck. In the video released by Noem, we see the people approach the bridge. According to Noem, the ship was seized in international waters near the Caribbean Sea. The Sofia's most recent location showed it was off the coast of Cameroon on 24th of July, and it has not transmitted its position since. It is possible for the ships to falsify their location's data to hide their position, which is known as spoofing. Now, this kind of act has been there with all the shadow fleets of Russian oil, and now it seems that they have been carrying Venezuelan oil and Iranian oil to other shores through this shadow fleet. Moving on to Greenland, the US president in the past has claimed that it needed Greenland for its security. Now, Greenland's Prime Minister Jens Frederik Nielsen has said no more fancies because Greenland is sovereign and Greenland seeks stronger ties with US. Greenlanders should not fear any imminent American takeover. European powers support Greenland amidst the US interest. President Trump has repeatedly in the recent past said that Greenland was needed for America's own security, as there were a lot of Chinese vessels and Russian vessels roaming around that island. Now, Greenland is the world's largest island with 50,000 inhabitants. Greenland is an autonomous state of Denmark, and the Prime Minister of Denmark, Jens Frederik Nielsen, said on Monday that Greenland is seeking to strengthen its ties with US and its citizens should not fear any imminent American takeover. He also said on a Facebook post Enough is enough. No more fantasies about annexation. He was alleging US of thinking of annexing Greenland as their own territory. However, Greenland seems to be a sovereign province. Now, the Finnish president, Alexander Stubb, has come out in support of Denmark and Greenland. He says that the fate of Greenland and Denmark are to be decided only by the people of Greenland and Denmark and no one else. Greenland has a strategic location near the North Pole and is rich with rare earths and other minerals. That's why it is very crucial to the plans of both Russia and US. However, annexation of Greenland is something that US has been pushing for some time now, but with no progress till now. After the capture of Nicolas Maduro from Venezuela, the US ties with Venezuela has been strained. However, Trump recently had announced that he has got a deal with Venezuela worth $2.8 billion, wherein the Venezuelans would ship 30 to 50 million barrels of oil to US immediately. Now, this comes amidst all the confusion that has been embroiling for some time now. The Venezuelan president is held at a US jail and was recently presented in front of a federal court in New York. Recent developments also show that Venezuelan oil vessels have been seized by US. Now, under all this pressure and the changing political scenario in Venezuela, the Venezuelan administration has taken this bait and decided to ship 30 to 50 billion barrels of oil to US, according to Donald Trump. Now, Chevron is looking after the proceeds of all these sales, and the US would be guaranteeing the sales of Venezuelan oil at market price. This is a great change from the earlier scenario where the oil trade was nationalized by the Venezuelan government. Now, with this change, Venezuelan oil would enter the market at the market price itself, which might help to lower the burden on the domestic consumers of oil. US prices of oil has just dipped by 4% in past 2 days. Now, these are happy signs. However, whether this would continue or not is yet to be seen. If you like this small analysis of all these 3 news items, please subscribe to our channel and do like and share.